Letter to God. By G.L Fuentes. Textual question and answers. Question 1. What did Lencho hope for? Answer. Lencho hoped for financial assistance to help his family survive a difficult time. In his letter to God, he requested 100 pesos, believing that this amount would be sufficient to support his family and prevent them from going hungry. Lencho's hope was rooted in his faith that God would provide for him in his time of need, demonstrating his reliance on divine intervention to alleviate his family's suffering. Question 2. Why did Lencho say the raindrops were like new coins? Answer. Lencho likened the raindrops to new coins because he saw them as valuable and precious, just like money. In his perspective, the raindrops were akin to a form of currency that would bring prosperity and abundance to his crops, thereby improving his financial situation. This comparison highlights Lencho's desperation for economic relief and his belief that the rain would bring much-needed fortune to his family. Question 3. How did the rain change? What happened to Lencho's fields? Answer. Initially, Lencho described the rain as gentle and hopeful, comparing the raindrops to new coins as they fell steadily on his parched land. However, the rain soon turned into a destructive force. The downpour became so heavy that it transformed into a hailstorm, causing significant damage to Lencho's fields. The hailstones pummeled the crops, destroying them completely. This sudden change in the weather from a promising rain to a destructive hailstorm devastated Lencho, exacerbating his already dire situation and leading to further hardship for his family. In other words, the rain, initially seen as a blessing, turned into a destructive hailstorm, damaging Lencho's fields and worsening his family's already difficult situation. Question 4. What were Lencho's feelings when the rain stopped? Answer. When the rain stopped, Lencho's feelings were filled with despair and hopelessness. He had initially seen the rain as a symbol of hope and a potential solution to his family's struggles. However, the destructive hailstorm that followed devastated his crops, leaving him with nothing. As the rain ceased, Lencho realized that his hopes for a bountiful harvest and financial relief had been shattered. He likely felt defeated, helpless, and uncertain about how he would provide for his family in the face of such adversity. Question 5. Who or what did Lencho have faith in? What did he do? Answer. Lencho, a character in the short story, A Letter to God, had unshakable faith in God. When a hailstorm destroyed his crops, he wrote a letter to God asking for help. In the letter, he poured out his despair and pleaded for financial assistance to recover his losses. Despite the devastation around him, Lencho maintained his belief that God would provide for him. This unwavering faith led him to place the letter in the mailbox, convinced that God would intervene in some miraculous way. This act of writing the letter and entrusting it to the divine intervention is a testament to Lencho's profound faith in God's benevolence and power. Question 6. Who read the letter? Answer. It is implied that the postman at the post office reads Lencho's letter addressed to God. The postman, perplexed by the letter's recipient and its contents, shares it with others at the post office. This creates a sense of irony and highlights the innocence of Lencho's belief that God will directly receive and respond to his letter. Question 7. What did the postmaster do after reading the letter? Answer. After reading Lencho's letter addressed to God, the postmaster was deeply moved by its content and decided to take action. He felt compelled to respond to Lencho's plea for help. So, he rallied the other employees at the post office, and together they collected money to send to Lencho anonymously. This compassionate gesture reflects the postmaster's empathy towards Lencho's plight and his willingness to assist him in his time of need. Question 8. Was Lencho surprised to find a letter for him with money in it? Answer. Yes, Lencho was surprised to find a letter for him with money because he had written a letter to God asking for financial help, and he believed that the money in the letter was sent by God in response to his request. However, he became upset when he discovered that some of the money was missing, thinking that God had sent less than he asked for. Question 9. What made him angry? Answer. Lencho became angry when he realized that the amount of money he received in the letter was less than what he had requested from God. Despite his initial surprise and gratitude at receiving any help at all, he felt betrayed and disappointed that God had not provided him with the full amount he needed to overcome his financial difficulties. This discrepancy between his expectations and reality led to his anger and frustration, as he struggled to reconcile his belief in God's benevolence with the perceived shortfall in assistance. Question 10. Who does Lencho have complete faith in? Which sentences in the story tell you this? Answer. Lencho has complete faith in God. Lencho's complete faith in God is evident when he writes a letter appealing for help, expressing his belief that only divine intervention can save his family from hunger. This reliance on God's power is encapsulated in the sentence, "God, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year." This sentence serves as a poignant expression of Lencho's unwavering faith and his understanding of the gravity of his situation. Question 11. Why does the postmaster send money to Lencho? Why does he sign the letter God? Answer. In the story, A Letter to God, the postmaster sends money to Lencho after reading his original letter addressed to God. The postmaster, moved by Lencho's sincere plea for help and recognizing his desperate situation, decides to contribute some money to assist him. However, instead of revealing his identity, the postmaster signs the letter, God, to maintain Lencho's belief that the money came directly from a divine source. This act demonstrates the postmaster's compassion and desire to preserve Lencho's faith in God's benevolence, even if the assistance ultimately comes from a fellow human being. Question 12. Did Lencho try to find out who had sent the money to him? Why or why not? Answer. No, Lencho did not try to find out who had sent the money to him. He firmly believed that the money came directly from God in response to his letter. When the postmaster suggested that perhaps it was not God who sent the money but rather someone else, Lencho vehemently rejected the idea, insisting that only God could have sent the money. Therefore, he never questioned or doubted the source of the money, maintaining his unwavering faith in God's. Question 13. Who does Lencho think has taken the rest of the money? What is the irony in the situation? Answer. Lencho believes that God himself has taken the rest of the money. He thinks that the discrepancy between the amount he requested in his letter and the amount he received must be due to God taking a portion of the money for some unknown reason. This belief stems from Lencho's unwavering faith in God's actions and his perception of the situation as a direct interaction between himself and a higher power. The irony in the situation lies in Lencho's misunderstanding and misinterpretation of the events. Despite his strong faith and conviction that God sent the money, it is actually the postmaster who contributed the funds out of kindness and compassion after reading Lencho's letter. The irony is that Lencho, while attributing the entire event to divine intervention, remains unaware that a fellow human being was responsible for the assistance he received. This highlights the theme of human compassion and the idea that sometimes, help comes from unexpected sources, even if it is mistakenly attributed to divine intervention.